are early. Sometimes it's good to be early. But our show starts at a specific time. You should remember that. Let's get started then, shall we?
Dylan, I don't give a what you think about a co-host and freshen up my show.
It might not be flashy, but sometimes you just gotta toss another person to make a statement.
My show's about the people's podcast. Everyone has a voice. I don't need a co-host. Go listen to one of the other 5,000 shows with a co-host because they don't have a mouth like the big guy.
Opie, are you a career killer with Tim Sabian, yourself, and many others?
Be myself. Never had real issues with those people. They just understood that I was a different bird. The rest of them, though, I'm like, oh, shut up. I'm paying your salary because the ratings are so good, so shut up.
Live from
somewhere,
it's
Dylan.
Greetings from somewhere. I am your host, Dylan, on this episode of Public Domain Theater. I've sent out the link to a few other folks. I think that they are still working. Hopefully, we'll get somebody to join us. Otherwise, I will be your Joel without the Crow and Tom Servo here on Goofing on public domain content, taking another swing at this. YouTube did not believe that no one owned this last time I tried this. So, gonna start off with a public service announcement. I see a few people are looking forward to the Superman, Sam Bibley dropping in, and he's working. Sounds like you got some kryptonite working up. So, oh, thank goodness, we've got our Gypsy. We don't have our Tom Servo or our Crow T robot, but we've got our Gypsy. Thanks for filling in right there, and happy I could take you to some more dulcet tones, Sam Bibley, as we get to our first PSA of the day. Why vandalism? It's a bit hard for me to judge volume without a second person, so let me know if it needs to be adjusted. I'm trying to get it to a point where you can hear both me and the video. I do have to get into that type of work because there's been a few people who said I have a decent radio voice. I did, once I started recording myself for these types of streams, I did discover my impressions are not as good as I thought they were.
This is vandalism. In this case, perhaps not too... an ocean of feelings which have become twisted and warped in an unfriendly world.
I'm glad that they introduced that this is what vandalism is.
These feelings may not show on the surface.
I wasn't quite sure. I was thinking that was like mopery, what we just saw.
He doesn't seem much different from others in his block. And yet it may well be that never in his life has he had the love and the care that most people would give to a pet.
See, vandals can love dogs too. Vandals aren't subhuman like those goddamn mopery people.
So Jeff has come to feel that the world is against him. A typical vandal?
I hope it isn't that type of PSA. Vandalism mixed
typical.
with bestiality. The Rob
Every
Saul
person
story.
is different with inner motivations of his own. Often not even known to himself.
Rob Saul has got an easy voice to impersonate.
In Jeff's hidden personality are many scars.
Don't even need to say words.
And many open wounds.
Oh, it doesn't look like that's going to go away down at the bottom.
Are not easy to understand.
I'm over on archive.org.
Perhaps his home is at fault.
Oh, they're good. It went away. How'd I get it to go away there for a moment?
It's not that the dishes are dirty and the house is messy.
Ah,
it's something much
his
deeper.
mother is a vandal at home. Vandalism
Perhaps
is
the
learned
emptiness of a
from
home
mom
that is
and
lacking
dad.
in love and affection. Whatever it may be, Jeff Turner
Hopefully
has become
that hot
an
dog
outsider,
hasn't been sitting there all night.
made so by complex circumstances which he himself can't fully control
Well, he is
or
fed.
understand.
He got a hot dog and an apple. Only half neglectful parents. That's why he isn't a diddler. Only a
Even among
vandal.
others of his own age, Jeff often feels left out and uncomfortable.
3 ounces, right.
All right, somebody
These
put him
dabblers
away.
don't understand me because I'm
Oh,
Bugs
all right,
Bunny
Jeff.
on candy. What an odd
Now,
guy.
That's a gain of 3 ounces over the day before yesterday.
I guess the
Can
Dabbleverse
anyone
is Elmer
suggest the cause?
Fudd.
Wendy?
It could be to the fat in the diet, Mr. Cole.
Yes, it could be. We have to consider that. But what other causes might there be?
Uh-oh.
Jeff?
Speaking of Bugs
You have an
Bunny,
idea?
our vandal is
don't know.
touching it.
Well, who can think of other causes? Yes?
Well, maybe he's been
Rightly or wrongly, Jeff has come to feel that everyone is against him. Outside, Jeff Turner is much like any boy on the block.
You said that already.
But inside,
I think this
he's
script
eaten
could have
away
used some
with
revising.
resentment
Very much
and a
like James
desperate
Rolfe.
urge to get even.
Not that bad, though. And that's what pushed him over the edge. A rotten apple.
There are others at odds with the world, but for different reasons.
Oh, don't you
Here
see?
is Don Cardiff.
He's a rotten apple himself. The rotten apple sought him out.
Button up your coat!
His folks have prodded and nagged at Don until, without knowing it, he hates them and himself as well.
Donnie! You forgot your scars!
At least he didn't hate the bunny. These vandals may be the dregs of society,
And
but
Ed Berger
they
is a
only hurt
product of
buildings
poverty,
and things.
made worse by the lack of family love and respect.
Why don't you get out then? I'd have more money if you were get out. When you're a fine one.
That rotten apple makes him admit that he has ruined the bunch.
These are city boys, but theirs is not only a
Oh,
city problem.
he is the one rotten apple in the
Nor are
bunch.
all who get involved in
Society
vandalism
is on its
necessarily
downfall
deeply
thanks to this
disturbed.
one vandal.
But wherever the natural warmth of human feeling has been turned to resentment by constant lack of affection and understanding, there is danger of vandalism.
Not at the carnival. There's kids and families there.
These boys are
The diners. The diners were the malls of the 50s. And of course the malls were the malls of the 80s.
What are you stalling for? What's the hurry?
Hola,
You ain't
Square
going
Snake.
anywhere. Let's beat the jukebox a while. What for? For these other jerks to
He's in the
listen to?
Tony Soprano position.
What's
You're
the matter,
absolutely
Don?
right, Sam
You got too
Bibley.
much money? I got $2. $2? Maybe we can do something. Hey, let's go to a movie or something. What's playing? I don't know.
Those dramatic stings have only evolved so much over the years. Well, I guess that's how you can tell it's a timeless dramatic sting.
Hey, maybe I can get my old man.
Now that is vandalism.
For a ride.
What the hell did I
Can't
miss?
get nobody to go with us. What's so fun? Sure we can.
This is why vandalism.
Somebody.
And
Why
it appears
vandalism?
that he's learned it from home. He has a very neglectful parentage. No one was home. They just left him hot dogs out on a plate with no bun or anything to eat for dinner.
boredom and inner resentment.
So it's deep
Which lead
inside
to
of
the
him, this
destruction of property.
urge to be a vandal.
This is more than a simple matter of keeping the hands busy.
Unreal.
Many people are nervous and fidgety, but they seem to be able to control their actions so that they're not destructive.
Going back to Rob Saul again,
In
being
these
able to
boys,
hold
feelings
his
of
hands.
resentment are too great to be controlled completely, even when they themselves are not.
So
fully
vandalism
aware
is
of their
definitely
feelings.
being blamed on bad parenting, right?
Yeah, this began at
Although they
home.
have no plans at the moment,
They
these
actually
boys
made
are
a
heading for
nice
serious
little
trouble before the
parallel
evening
to
is
him
over.
eating a rotten apple, and he himself is a rotten apple. I've got on deck
this
Lady
trouble be
Gangster
avoided?
coming up, a 1-hour
Can
film noir
vandalism be
movie,
reduced?
and then one more PSA to end us for the day: Superman and stamps.
Can these boys be persuaded to take part in some community activity?
I think I've heard that a while
In
back,
order
but
to
I don't
help them get
remember
rid
it.
of boredom.
Like I think I watched it not too long ago.
We don't have the savings bond commercials, PSAs anymore.
Keep them off the street.
There's such a glut
has a
of
responsibility here.
buy savings
war
bonds,
bonds.
So have the boys
PSAs
themselves.
that from the archive.
They have to be
That
able to meet the
we've never
club
seen those.
halfway.
We've seen Say No to Drugs, but
A club
no buy
doesn't mean
savings
much if
bonds
you
in the
won't
90s.
join.
Yeah, I think that trend started to fall off.
Our schools, too, in their after-hours
Upbeat
activities as
swinging music.
well as in the classrooms, can do much in the fight against vandalism. The sympathetic interest of good teachers and counselors can do wonders in making the world seem less cold and hostile.
The guidance counselors in the 50s actually had something to do. Then you get up to the 90s with clerks, they're just separating eggs to find the perfect dozen, to have something to do. Actually, no, that guy in Clerks, he was looking for the perfect dozen already in. Why don't you mix and match? And then he just yelled at me about standards.
It is here that moral values are first implanted, to be nurtured until they put down roots. Family, friends,
it's up to you not to raise a vandal.
Institutions all play their role in the complex process through which every personality develops into its own individual form. These boys, through many unhappy and painful experiences, have come to feel resentful toward everyone.
Sounds right.
They don't have spray paint, though. Did they not have spray paint in the 50s? Did they have to bring along their own bucket of paint?
Yeah, it was still brush and bucket.
Their feeling isn't on the surface, and therefore it's hard to overcome.
I'm on these
Even when the
socias.
community
I'm
makes
going to
the
go for
effort.
the socias with the socias versus the greaser.
Wanna
They've
see
got
the
a
film
golden
tonight,
member and
fellas?
Pony Boy.
No, we're kind of busy tonight. How about a little basketball? No, we've got plans.
I want to play this all the way through, but that no just it's so funny to me. I want to hear that no again.
Tonight, fellas? No, we're kind of busy tonight. How about a little basketball? No,
That was the one.
plans. Well,
No.
come in anytime. Yeah, sure, Mr. Brewer.
He may not be an English speaker. He may be.
Social worker. Boy,
He's so
look at
wooden.
that. Looks more like a prison than a school. Yeah.
Kind of looks like the Kink.com
Hey,
warehouse.
Look at that window. Say, it's open. How about that?
Holy
Let's
shit.
take a look.
They did not do any ADR in this. It is really hard to pick out what they said because we can really hear the wind blowing as much as we can hear the actors.
Exactly,
It
yeah.
might be fun, huh? You better not. It'd be too bad if they catch us. What, are you scared? No, I'm
There's
not
traffic.
scared. Me neither. Oh, come on, I can't hurt anything. Oh.
A big old ugly jump cut before before it became the Zoomer style of editing.
A guard walking by now might save these boys from doing things they'll be sorry for later.
Thanks for stopping in, Tiff Wash.
But guards can't solve the real problem.
We're getting up to the climax
How to
of these
keep inner
vandals.
feeling up until they burst out in unexpected acts of destruction. Even so small a thing as an unlocked window may trigger an act of vandalism.
They opened it. What a bunch of lame vandals opening the window. I imagine Doggo was trying to make a cameo over on Spurgsnake's side. How about you, Kitty? Mr. Z's gonna want you to make a cameo. Oh, I didn't put James Rolfe's meow on the board yet.
Hey, here's old man Cole's one. So what? There's a rabbit in there. A white rabbit. Come on. Oh, heck, it's lies. Hey, wait a minute. My house can fit almost.
We did see
all
that
the
white
doors.
rabbit earlier.
Let me
The
try.
vandal was taking care of the rabbit, so he did have ill intentions.
soft he is. Oh, I had one of those.
Marie
That
Curie.
kinda
These
dumb.
guys
He
have
likes me,
all
see?
of the
See how he puts
staples
his
of
nose up
room
against
goers.
me? Probably thinks you're a killer or
They
something.
like to be very
Sure is,
destructive.
Hey, look.
And they just have a
Test
bunch of fun with it.
papers. Your paper in here, Jeff?
Unfortunately, we
Yeah,
don't have a James
I
Rolfe to
probably
keep them in
flunked.
check.
Say, how about that? Graded and everything, yeah. Well, we can fix that. Here goes our old test. Ed!
No, you dummy! Don't
Cut
rip
it
the test
out.
up. You take the answers
We're just
home.
helping Jeff pass the test. Hey, let me know. Look, you stay there. Boy, will Mr. Cole be sore when he sees this.
They've got their 8mm camera to do very unnatural things with
This
that
is how
bunny indeed,
vandalism
Sam
usually
Bibley.
starts.
This is our
Not
big
planned.
vandalism scene at the end.
Nothing to be gained or achieved.
Just throwing stuff on the floor.
Destruction has boiled up out of hidden resentments
They did not have the
and
budget
strikes out blindly
to
against everything in its path.
actually buy any of these props. Oh, look at him. He is taking chalk to the chalkboard. What an animal. Hey, those only go on the ground during school hours. Taking them down is an inconvenience on the custodian. Oh, here we go. All of that glass looked like it was glued to the shelf, didn't it? It looked like nothing was moving. I think nothing moved along with it. They were trying their best to not shatter a single one of those glasses. The Forbidden Zone in 1980. Too many boobs to show on YouTube. That sounds like something that movies with
Jeff,
2K.
Look!
The Skinamax theater with 2K might have checked out the Forbidden Zone.
My rabbit's gone! We better get out of here. Come on, my rabbit! Look out, Jeff. Look out for that fire.
What's going on here?
Look out for that fire.
It's dead.
It's of mice and men, except with vandalism, rather than crushing them to death with love.
Before the law,
Nice. I guess that's a young Lady Gaga there.
responsible for the shocking,
Didn't recognize her. She had some good
appalling
work
waste
done.
you've caused. But we know today there's more to it than that. You parents must share the responsibility, for somewhere along the line you have failed your sons. You have failed to teach them moral values. And by denying them the love, and security, and a sense of belonging which is important to every living being, you have hurt them
There's
as
the
surely
rabbit's
as though
mother.
you had denied them
She
food.
can't keep it together.
I know that there are other factors too. The school, the church, and the community all share in this important problem. But the basic fact remains that you
So
three
we're
boys
all going
are
to jail
yourselves
with you.
responsible for your acts. Perhaps our doctors, our social workers, and others on our staff can help you overcome the fear and hate which has brought you before this court. Help you learn how to live a
Now the
happy
bunny's
and
dead.
normal life.
Just give him life. He's got no reason to live.
Nevertheless, I have no choice but to sentence you.
Apologies.
So ends another act of vandalism.
You missed the big climax
An act of
scene
needless
where they
waste
vandalized a
and
chalkboard using chalk.
Concern.
Yeah, these guys got nothing on modern vandals, that's for sure.
He didn't tell him how much he got, though. Just, I must sentence you. This is indeed a societal problem. Very fun that they pointed out that it's not you boys, it's society, but you boys, you made the choice.
Yep, it's society's fault. We let them go astray because we don't beat children anymore.
Funny enough, they did not get into the beating children. I guess it was just talked around, the beating of the children, because the parents weren't there, so the beatings was just implied. That was the style of the time.
Right.
So now our feature-length film noir movie with a small part with Jackie Gleason, Lady Gangster. Jackie Gleason. It appears that why vandalism has really touched Sam Bibley. So I'm glad that spoke to some people. Perk? This guy's name is Perk? It's like Perk Angle. Of course, Perk Angle was an insult to Kurt Angle when he was highly on Percocets.
Oh, hurry, quick! The man's crazy. I can see him through the window. He's got a knife. He chased a woman into a doorway. He's going to stab her. Hurry! 8th and Pine on the west side. Hurry, quick!
Hello.
Starting off hot.
Man running amok with a knife at 8th and Pine.
Attention all cars. Attention all cars. All cars in vicinity of 8th and Pine, go there at once. Man with knife running amok. All
this is of the utmost importance. APB.
They don't do that no more. Send somebody out because of a knife. Like, no, it's just another day in the subway.
To help you right. All right, let's go.
Is that our buddy Jackie? Yep, that's our buddy Jackie Gleason driving the car. I know, A. Smith. Some crazy dame just made some accusations, and they're actually responding here in the 1930s.
For a few days now, we'll leave you a cup with the old lady.
Yeah, it's definitely the 30s. Look at that car.
Okay, now we've got their plan. The police are after the man running amok, so she can rob herself a bank.
Classic distraction.
Let me in, please. If it's important, officer, open the door. Please, officer.
I'm sorry, lady, but we don't open till 10 o'clock.
But that's half an hour and I can't wait. I've got to catch a train.
That's hard luck, but we can make no exceptions.
Yeah, she's catching a train with the guys in the car coming
I
up.
just want to put some money into cover one.
Yeah? Well, in that case,
Oh,
maybe...
thanks you ever so much.
She made it. I don't like to see a dame like that get mixed up in a job like this. What, are you going to sort on the dame?
The Walt Disney
Doctor,
mustache
just
is a
hold
nice
tight while I
touch.
make out my
The
deposit
very
slip.
thin...
I don't know what
They
I've
used to do a
done
lot
if
of
it
fun
hasn't
things
left
with
the hand.
mustaches back in the day.
Oh, yes.
Now, let's see. Do I put down my address, too?
Yes.
Maybe I should get rid of the beard. Mustaches are just funny.
About it.
Well, you're gonna have to compete with David Collins. He's probably got one of the best mustaches in the
Put 'em up, everybody.
this little corner.
Oh yes, the beard may help to differentiate us. Some people do find us a bit similar.
Feel better with that off your hip.
Unreal.
The safe is just open. Didn't even need the cracker. Then again, 30 minutes before it opens, they scope this place out.
Clever girl.
All right, stay right where you are. Blast the first one to make the move.
I'm gonna
I
blast
told you
you.
before you couldn't park in this red zone. Let me see your driver's license.
The red zone is reloading and unloading.
Later, copper.
I was unprepared for that stunt. Oh, nice. So the lady gangster is... Oh,
I'll call the police. Be all right in a minute.
the way all those cars were
Oh, I'm all right
stopped.
Wait a minute. I've got to catch a train.
I'm sorry, lady. You'll have to wait till the officers get here.
But I need to get fucked in 2 holes now, officer.
Well, Jordan, what have you got to say? What were you doing when they pushed in?
Well, I was here helping this lady make out her deposit slip, and, on holding her dog.
What dog?
Well, he was here, but he ran away.
How come that you were in here so early?
Well, I came to deposit some money.
And you made me miss my train.
Yeah. And you let that mob out. How did they get in here in the first place?
Why, I guess the door was left unlocked when she came.
What's your name?
Mrs. Burton, Mrs. Dorothy Burton.
How long have you been a depositor?
Gangster. Lady
About a
Gangster.
month, I'd say.
I see. Do you usually do your banking before banking hours?
No, my maid usually does it for me.
Well, why didn't she do it today?
I let her go because I was expecting to leave town this morning. In fact, I came to deposit the money to cover the check I gave for my ticket.
Have you got the ticket?
Yes.
Sly
Here's the
woman.
money I came to deposit.
Well, there's
Oh
your
no,
dog
is the
anyhow. You
doggy
better
gonna
go.
get it like the bunny got it in the last thing we watched?
Tiny, come here.
No.
An early adopter
doesn't
of
seem to
doggy
mind very well.
shirts. Now it's a very common, I think of it of a white folk thing, but that's a pioneer in dog fashion.
Is that a stolen dog, too? Jeez.
That's a nice little dog. How old is he?
Well, I don't know. I haven't had him very long. I just got him from the pound last week.
That's funny. You didn't mention that you got him from the Oakdale pound.
No, I didn't.
But you did call him Tiny.
Yes.
You know, the name on the back of this tag is Boots.
Well, I don't know
Oh,
what
look
his
at him,
real
he's
name is
tiny.
or where he came
Dogs
from.
can have nicknames.
The friend who gave him to me just said he got him at the pound.
What friend?
My boyfriend. It doesn't make any difference who.
Maybe it does, and maybe it doesn't. Anyway, I'm going to have a little talk with that poundmaster, and you're going down to
Ooh, that
headquarters
pound
and answer an
master.
awful lot
That's
of
who she was trying to get at on the train.
Jeez, that detective's not, he's not fucking around either. He's really, we're gonna go investigate this dog. I don't see any real police doing this ever.
Mrs. Burton, I can assure you that if you'll help us in this case and become a state's witness, I'll see that you get every possible consideration.
But I've already told you, I don't know anything about it.
But I know that you do. And I'm going to keep on asking you these questions until I
I
get
didn't
the
think
truth
they
out
were
of
going
you.
to
It takes
catch a
all
lady
summer.
gangster this quick. I figured the first
Who were the men you were working with?
heist would have went off without a hitch.
Who was the man in the car?
Who was the man?
The getaway car, of course.
I don't know.
He beats his wife every night. Bang, zoom, right to the moon.
Where did you get the dog?
Yeah, she ain't talking.
It was given to me. I've told you 1,000 times it was given to me. Why don't you let me see my lawyer? I demand to see my lawyer.
Where did you get the dog?
It was given to me. I've told you before it was given to me.
It was a present.
Nice arm crosser. Very stern.
Nice dissolve. To quote Spaceballs. Pretty soon, Sam Bibley, everything is just going to be a spin-off of Batman.
Dark-haired beauty held to the compass
Fucking
of bank robbers.
Penguin. That series kicks ass.
There you have it, another holdup. All our high-powered district attorney's been able to do is arrest one lone, helpless little girl.
She's not so helpless. She's doing all right.
How long can he hold her? Indefinitely.
The lady gangster got made and thrown in jail before 10 minutes into this.
All Sitton's trying to do is
That's
grab himself
strange.
some cheap publicity. Well, that gang that put him
So
in
now what are they
backed
gonna
up
do?
on
Put the
big
screws
stuff.
to her
Money
and she's gonna snitch on everybody? She's gonna roll over?
And it's not like the trend of the bad guy getting himself captured, like around Star Trek Into Darkness time. Ugh, I hated that trope when...
Well, why don't you throw the mic at your
Like, I think Joker was the first time I remember it happening in Dark Knight, and then every fucking villain purposely got themselves
You'd
captured.
really start a political campaign just to help one little gal?
Yeah, a trend.
Not to help anyone necessarily, but to get that chiseler out of office. You know what I think I'll do? I'm going to start a series of broadcasts, 10 or a dozen. I'm going to expose Sitton and that entire setup behind him. Okay, Chief.
Well,
when do we start?
better to cast for
9.
broads than
Switch programs
guys.
to take the 8 o'clock hour myself. You better get the newspaper and see that we get a break. Okay, again, I'm on my way. From the first day Louis Sitton took office, criminals have been flocking here in droves. We have had 4 bank robberies within the last 2 months, and our esteemed district attorney has made just
Not
one
as
arrest.
Walt Disney of a
Girl, whose
mustache
picture you
as our
probably saw in
villain.
today's paper. They call her the dark-haired bandit to build up the story for publicity purposes. But all they have against her, actually, is that she had a dog she didn't own. I think
I
Mrs.
call
Benton
her the
should be our dog
Butterface
catcher
Bandit.
instead of our district attorney.
I've heard enough of that drivel.
You're not going to let him get away with this.
I can't stop him from broadcasting.
Well, then play it the other way. Offer to cooperate. Ask
Play
his
it backwards? Are we going to hear
Tell the
John is
newspapers
dead?
That we're going to work with him.
Paul is dead.
And if he
Not
thinks
John.
we're holding the Burton girl without reason, invite him to investigate.
That's a good idea. He's through. I'll give him a buzz right now.
That's some fancy hold music.
Hello, get me Kenneth Phillips at the Commodore Broadcasting Company.
There's a lot more complicated back then. You actually had to have the big band playing and hold the receiver up to him.
Hello?
It was cheaper than records at the time.
Oh, just a minute, please. Well, that's getting action quick. Senton wants to talk to you. Hello, Senton. This is Phillips.
So I'm
I've
willing
only
and
seen that
anxious
hairdo
to
out of
cooperate in
Dick
every way.
Tracy.
And as for that Burton girl, I'd like to
I
have
always
you
thought
talk
that
to
was
her
a
yourself.
parody of
All right, when can
1930s
I see
hair.
her?
Apparently it's fucking real.
Anytime you say.
I'll call you in the morning.
Right. Well, that's that.
Well, maybe I'm being played for a chump, John, but Senton talked to me like a kid brother. He wants my advice, my help, everything.
Mm-hmm. Particularly your support in the coming election. So go easy.
Yes.
Lady Gangster, welcome.
Well, what do you want this time?
Roll
I told
over
you
on
everything
Jackie
I know.
Gleason.
Why don't you let me go home?
You remember when he rolled over on you, nearly suffocated you.
There's a gentleman in there who wants to talk to you. Will you follow me, please?
Well, what do you want?
She isn't in prison garb. Oh, I guess she hasn't. She's only been in jail.
Ken.
Dorothy.
Well, I'm glad to see you. Wait a minute. Are you the one that wants to ask me some questions?
Now, don't worry. I'm not going to put you through any third degree. I came down here to talk to Mrs. Burton. I had no idea it was Dorothy Drew.
Oh, I've had an awful time of it, Ken. All I've done is answer questions, one after another. A million
All I
times
did was
they've
steal a
asked me,
dog.
Where did I get the dog? Where are the men that pulled the holdup? Where's the
Actually,
money?
Let me
Where...
take a good look at it.
That would solve
No,
everything,
you're
wouldn't it?
familiar.
I'm a kleptomaniac with
Burton.
dogs.
Married?
No. I just took that name when I left home. Added the Mrs. for protection. Seems silly now, but I thought I needed a stage name. I even thought I could act.
We all used to think so. I remember during my last
Even
year
the
at school how
casting
different
director
I
of this
got
movie
comic
thought you could act.
What happened to me here
You
was
sure showed
tragedy.
him.
As bad as all that?
Well, not all the time, of course. I had one summer in stock in New Jersey, and last season I had a swell spot in a show in New York, but after a couple
Oh,
of weeks,
actors
it
gone
folded.
bad.
Then it was one
From
agent's
vandals
office after another until
to actors
finally it came
turned
to
to
an occasional
crime.
week in a nightclub.
Looks like she has a bra on her head.
It's the same old story, Ken. Small town girl goes to city, comes the dawn, and all she's got left is her grouch money.
Her what?
Grouch
Grouch
money?
money. That's what show people call their savings for a really rainy day. To me, it was money to go home on.
So you want to go back?
Eyebrows.
Do I want to go
I
back?
just heard an interview about the
Listen,
upcoming
Ken,
Queen of the
I
Ring
used to think
movie.
I hated that place.
They did
But now
some
that's all I
tests
do want.
with eyebrows of the time,
Money
and the
for my
director was
ticket
like,
I was putting in the
fucking
bank when they
no.
arrested me.
That was tough.
No 1930s
It's only
eyebrows
because
in
these
this
people
modern
here needed a
movie.
scapegoat
We're
that they
taking
picked on me.
liberties.
Well, maybe I can help you.
Do you mean that, Ken?
Let's see.
Nice beaver.
Senton, will you release Mrs. Burton in my custody? What? I'll be responsible for her appearance any time you say.
Phillips, I think she's a member of that gang.
I don't.
All right. In any event, she can't leave town.
She won't. She'll be at my home with my sister. When can she go?
Chain to the wall.
Anytime you say. Get her discharged.
To the
papers
radiator,
back.
yeah. Chin
What do you want to do first?
Well, I guess I'd better get my things.
Just like
You want me
the
to sign
witness
a
you
surety
took
for her
home last
appearance,
month.
I suppose.
I'll have the papers and everything ready by the time she gets back.
Then I'll meet you here in about an hour. That all right?
Sure. I'll do anything you say from now on.
Lick my ass.
Swell, Burton. I can't understand how you failed on the stage.
It's because I wasn't acting with Mr. Phillips. I meant every word.
Okay, Mrs. Burton. Have it your own way, but I still don't believe you. There you are.
Thanks.
Don't thank me. Thank Phillips.
That's exactly what I'm going to do.
And don't mistakenly think... Fuck, what's the other screwdriver? I was trying to make a screwdriver joke, and I can't think of the straight head.
Who is it? It's Doc Burton. doing here, kid? Come in.
Thanks, Ma.
It's
Didn't
not
you
a sex
sense, did you?
No. Believe it or not, Ma, I finally met a man who had faith in me.
He's not the only one.
Kind of
Who
like a
else?
dirty work
Me?
sex ring.
I always said you
No,
had
I thought they were
business running around
hookers.
with a lot of lugs like the mob upstairs. Well, I had to live, and they stayed.
Flathead. Just the simple
now on.
flathead.
I'll say
Just
I am.
escaped my brain for
Then
that
I
minute and
feel
a half.
better.
I was stumble
When I
fucking over
introduced you to
myself.
Carrie and his friends, I never
Thank you, A.
claimed they were as
Smith.
bad as they are.
I know that backlot.
There's a police car passing the house, and it's going very slow.
Well, I'm sure they didn't follow me here.
Maybe they're watching for Carrie and the boys.
I don't think they even suspect them. By the
Ooh,
way, did
Mom's
Terry
in on
get a
it.
package here for me?
No, he didn't. I haven't seen them lately, but I understand they're fixing to leave town.
I think I better have a little talk with him.
Now, you said you were through with them.
Well, I will be. Say, Ma, will you pack some things for me? I'll be away for a few days. Hmm?
Car's parked
Woo,
at Smitty's.
Jackie!
Okay, so we get to Louis, we'll split the dough 3 ways.
What about Dot's cut?
I said we were going to split 3 ways.
Don't worry about the girl. She's liable to be on ice for a long time.
Yeah, but I still think she ought to get a cut.
They've just established the police are watching her just outside.
How'd you get here?
I guess they
The
can't see
squad
the
car from
interior.
DA's to a fake
They don't have
address, and
X-rays.
taxis here. 2 of them, so I wouldn't
No,
be
but they
followed.
know who she's associating
Everything
with.
all
They're
right?
on,
Yeah,
they're
that's
onto it.
perfect. So you didn't squeal to get out, did you?
Listen, I got out clean and came here for my share, that's all. Where is it?
You'll get it, just take your time.
That's not the secret, Knock.
I just want to give you a tip. There's a police car outside watching the front.
She brought the cops.
Ma's right. You did lead him here, didn't you?
I didn't mean to, Carrie. Honest, I didn't. But we can't take any chances now if they catch us with this money. We're all in for a long vacation.
Yeah, she's right. We better blow. I'll stash this.
Free room and board, free food. It's an outright vacation when you don't get into the
You deserve even more than
8x8
they
cell
promised.
part.
Thanks, Wilson.
You were always okay, and if you ever need a favor, just ask.
Come on, let's go out over the roof and come back to that stuff when not so hot.
I'll go out the way I came. They got nothing on me.
Okay, Dad, I'll get
What
in
I
touch
find
with you in 2
interesting
days.
is that those were probably still real cigarettes. If you're on set, you can smoke, what do you call them, the clove cigarettes? But they don't actually... It was funny having a French actor and him having a clove cigarette, like, ugh, I know. Why can't it just be tobacco?
Now she's gonna get caught with all that money now.
That money ain't going 3 ways. It's going one
Ma, will
way.
you do something for me?
Anything that doesn't cost me money, dearie.
Then keep this briefcase, and don't give it to anyone unless they give you the other half of this dollar bill. You understand?
Say, that reminds me of a drama I was in. The Erring Bride's Earrings, it was called. And in the second
Oh,
act, I
second
was
generation failed actor.
good care
I'm
of
only
him.
first generation failed actor.
I'll do anything you say.
Yeah, this is early on,
So
so.
long, So long.
Oh, and with her, it was all vaudeville. Was there something pre-vaudeville?
Sorry to keep you waiting, Ken. but
I don't
there's
think so.
nothing
I
For
don't.
vaudeville, even.
That's all right. Sentence still out, and I haven't signed for you yet. Sit down.
Sounds like I was a telegram or a registered letter. But seriously, Ken, there's something I want to tell you. About some money.
I'm a
Don't
lesbian.
worry about money, and you don't have to tell me anything. Bygones are bygones.
I know, Ken, and that's very nice of you to say that. But still, there's something I must explain.
Well, there's plenty of time for that after you get out of here. All I
You
want to
see,
hear
it's an
you say now is
enlarged
that from this moment
clitoris.
on, you're
It's
going to
not
forget
actually a
everything you've been
penis.
through and start all over again. Promise?
Promise.
It's like in
And
between.
that gives me courage. The courage to
Yes,
tell
my
you what you
clitoris
must know before we
does
go any
get
further.
engorged and
What do you mean?
grow when you stimulate it.
I mean that.
But it's still a
up to now, I
clitoris.
haven't been on the level with you. When I realized what influence you had, and that you could get me out of here,
I put a bra on my head
up to
and just got so excited.
I even lied to you.
Yeah, what is going on
Right
with
about
her?
what?
She's got something up there.
Well, I was mixed
Weird.
up in that bank robbery.
You mean...
That's what I'm trying to tell you. But I want to square it, and I'm going to do it.
Now, wait a minute. You can't square anything like that.
Just give it back.
Well, here we are, all ready to sign. Oh, what's the matter? What's happened?
I'm sorry, Sinton, but you've been right all along.
Right about what?
Her perky
I
tits.
just told him something he didn't know. About bygones.
Bygones?
Yes. Bygones that he promised to forget. As long as he didn't mean it, then I'll tell you the truth. I was in on that bank robbery.
Well, that's fine. Congratulations, Phillips. Good work. Now let's have the rest of it. Who are the men, what are their names, and where's the money?
I'm afraid you'll have to find out those details for yourself. I confess to save him the trouble.
Thanks for dropping in, Principled Uncertainty.
And may I add my
And yeah, this is our second attempt at doing a Mystery Science Theater type show on some public domain movies. Teenagers from outer space.
So,
The algorithm
the quicker you
apparently got
realize
mixed
this
up
is neither a
because
country
Mystery
club
Science
nor a
Theater covered
concentration
that.
camp, the better.
And you can't see that no
It's up to
mo.
the women themselves how they're treated. If you behave yourself, we'll meet you more than halfway. But if you want to be tough, we can be tough with you. Now, is that clear?
Yes.
Yes, what?
I like it
ma'am.
tough.
Tell her the rules and see that she understands them. And she won't have that for an alibi for breaking them. Come on, Burton.
Earth women are easy. I don't believe in the public domain, A. Smith. Very rare for a 90s movie to be in the public domain. They let that shit kind of slip by in the decades previous, but people hold on to that ownership now.
Oh, yeah. Especially with YouTube.
I feel rotten. After all I did, tell her bygones are bygones. Well, what of it? She's just another crook.
Tip of the hat?
Not exactly. Don't forget I've known her ever since she was a little kid. I don't think she ever had a decent chance.
Well, she's in the state prison now, so what are you going to do?
I'm still going to
Oh,
try to
I'm
help
gonna
her.
touch her,
So let
just
me-
like when she was a little kid. Ah, just like in the Why Vandalism. It's his fault she's a bank robber.
Everything okay, Burton? Just perfect, thank you. Got a private room with absolutely every convenience. Except, of course, a radio and a writing desk. There's a radio in the big room and a
But
writing
otherwise,
desk,
that's
too.
not a bad sell.
But you won't be allowed to
Bigger
send
than an
letters
8x8.
the first month. Then I'll
Got
have plenty of
curtains,
time
too.
to think what I have to say before I write. Come on into the big room. It'll do you good to meet some of the others and talk to them a bit.
Hey, girl! Look, you fish!
Oh, new fish. I've been eating on the same tuna for decades now.
I know they cut right too grainy, huh?
Bring that sweet rose bush over here. She's not coming willingly. Get her, girls.
And why should Louis Sinton take credit for Dot Burton's conviction? Employing his usual bullying tactics, he could never have secured her confession in 1,000 years. Yet she responded readily to kindness and reason, and in so doing proved that, despite this one mistake, she nevertheless possesses a basically sound sense of honor and a high sense of duty towards society.
Turn that off.
Dot Burton confessed of her own accord.
Turn that off, I said. Who wants to listen to a mealy mouth? What right you got telling me what to do?
Well, I'm not going to listen to the baseball game. What do you think this is? One flew over the cuckoo's nest?
Lucy's right. The girls take turns on the radio, and this is her night.
And tomorrow's my night. Then you can hear music that's hot and sweet. Say, I never saw you before. Just who do you think you are?
My name's Dot Burton. That mean anything to
It
you?
is funny that they let the one have a very hot iron for her clothes. You just have wrinkly clothes if I was the warden. No ironing. Fuck off.
Bride, or why boys rob banks. Maybe she'll give us a lowdown on how to keep out of jail, huh?
Shut up, Lucy. You know it's against the rules to remind inmates what they're here for. Get back to your places, girls.
Is that a thing?
Oh, sure, Miss Jenkins. I'm sorry. I never meant to break no rules. I never do. You know that.
All right, Fenton.
I've never seen
And
the
don't you start
prison
any more
black and
brawls, or
white
you'll find yourself
stripes
in
so
solitary.
close together. Or vertical.
Well, they got a sewing machine in there. They're probably, hemming and making their own jumpsuits now.
Making a half a
Back
cent
in
an
the
hour.
day.
So? I like women who ain't all sawdust inside. Thanks. Home was never like this.
Oh, most of the girls ain't so bad.
This is starting to remind me of a lesbian movie I just saw.
Everybody's number.
But I'm a
now we're in a
cheerleader.
women's-
Natasha Lyonne plays a very innocent girl for once.
President of the Bird Club. Membership limited to stool pigeons only.
Oh, stool pigeons. No. Maybe
want
some
that
golden
battle-scarred
pigeoning, but not some stool pigeons for me. No, thank you.
Annie, a lifer. She's got nothing to gain by playing stooge, because she can't hear anything worthwhile anyhow. So why Lucy hooked up with her is anybody's guess.
They make a great team, all right.
Yeah. Let's ease out of here and go over to my cell. I've got a couple of cigarettes tucked under the mattress.
Swell.
Let's be roommates.
So outside of working for parole, the other reason for behaving good is to get sent to the farm. That's open in summer for trustees and A-conduct girls.
Well, parole's too far off for me to think about now. So all I can shoot
If
for
you're
is the farm,
good,
I guess.
one day you can get manual
Plus, it ain't
labor work.
exactly Central Park. But at least it's away from here and Mrs. Stoner, the head matron.
Yeah, she's hard as flint. We struck sparks the first time we met.
Because Flint really does spark. Nicely done.
How about Jenkins?
Tough on the routine. She's okay. Say, if you ever want to get a letter out or get anything sent in from the outside, I've got a friend who's a trustee. Well, I guess that's about enough for tonight's lesson.
Yeah, that's enough for tonight.
Yikes.
But there'll be tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that. Years of them.
Hey, Carrie, when are we going to get some action? We're just about out of dough.
Yeah, thanks to a little playmate, we're just about out 40 G's.
Maybe it was somebody else. You don't even know if it was her.
No, but I'm going to find out.
The only other person who knew what
do you
the
mean?
hiding spot, maybe it wasn't
Don't go
her.
and see her.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. Jackie Gleason's got
A visitor.
rose-tinted glasses on.
He doesn't want to take her to the movies. Those guys, they want to take her to the movies, like Morty from Goodfellas.
Quick on the snake, ain't you? First come, first served.
Ooh, she's quick
You're
on the
gonna
snake.
Get served, all right. And I'll cook the dish.
I think I'll
You
take
wouldn't
the
put poison
bigger
in it,
nosed
would
lady,
you?
though, since she's not
Poison,
quick on the
who told you
snake.
about
She takes
that?
her time.
A little bird. And not a stool pigeon either.
I ain't no stool.
Myrtle. I'll twist her tongue out. I'll... Miss Jenkins, come here, please. Miss Jenkins, she's taunting me. She called me a poisoner, trying to hurt me and humiliate me before everybody.
Easy now. Don't get excited. What's this all about, Burton?
Nothing, Miss Jenkins. I just beat her to the ironing board, and she got a little nasty.
That's a lie.
Fenton, you know the rules about that kind of talk.
Miss Jenkins, I didn't mean to call her a liar. I
My
only
baby
meant I
once
never did
told
what they
me.
accused me
I've
of.
heard this in Looney Tunes so many
never
times.
poisoned
This beat,
nobody.
this song.
It's a Dinah Shore song.
All right. Everybody in this place was
The
praying.
men will leave you to sing the
Now you
blues
leave
in the
Burton
night.
alone until she finishes, and then you can have the board.
And you know better than to make cracks like that, too.
She's a nice
I
Jewish
didn't
girl.
do
Leave her alone.
deliberately. I didn't even know why she was in here. Just a shot in the dark.
Mama
Well, it
done
hit
told
home,
me.
so don't shoot wild
God
again.
damn it.
By the way, Burton, you have permission to receive
Those
a
are the
visitor
only lyrics I know,
A
though.
visitor?
I think that's the only one
Mom-
that Bugs Bunny and his
Who's
buddies
coming
ever
to see
said.
me?
My mama once
Listen,
told me
it's that
da
Phillips.
da da
You're
da
telling me to stay
da.
away. That's
When
why
I
you
was in
double crossed her when
pigtails,
Not Phillips.
my mama done told me, hun. That's
My
the...
sister.
That's what the list
I
says.
think they might have changed that for the Looney
says
Tunes.
that,
I don't
I-
remember anyone saying when they were in
What's the matter
pigtails.
with
I
you,
always remember
Burton?
being a guy singing it.
Nothing. I just...
Yeah, it was...
thought
I remember
if it
Daffy
happened, she wouldn't want to
specifically.
see me.
Time heals all wounds, dearie. It'll be nice to see her and know that she's forgiven you anyway.
What's the matter, kid? Your sister ain't a vampire, is she? I don't know.
Werewolf.
I haven't got a sister.
Well, now, ain't that something?
Frankenstein's the name of the doctor.
Goodbye,
Oh,
Bill. I'll see you next
his
visiting
sister is
day.
coming in. Please be Jackie Gleason in drag. Please be Jackie Gleason in drag.
Well, no, I was going to say it looks like one of them is. I didn't think
It's
that
one of
was
the
an
guys.
actual woman.
It's totally one of the guys in drag. Too thin to be Jackie Gleason.
Yeah, and they're not showing the fate. There you go.
See me?
Just wondering why you're here, that's all.
To find out about the briefcase, of course.
Sure, I might have guessed that. But you won't find out.
I guess we've got to watch Jackie Gleason's variety show to get some of him in drag.
Where is it?
Actually, I don't know if those survived. What the Honeymooners spun off into, because I think that was brand new technology at the time of the Honeymooners being able to record those.
You were all set to cut me out, only I beat you to it.
Yeah, that was all new. Everything was done live television. That's crazy.
And just lost.
The whole 40,000.
That's what you think. Listen, sister. We'll be waiting.
Well, don't hold your breath, because it'll be a long time. And it's 10 to 1 you'll all be in your cells before
But Jackie Gleason is still sweet on her. I think Jackie Gleason might save our dame here at the end. Maybe it's just because it's Jackie Gleason. I want him to have a bigger part. I don't know the other guys. I didn't want to see him in drag.
Yeah, it's just like, I wonder how early this is in his career.
What is this year? Oh, it's not coming up. But Honeymooners was 1950s, I believe. 1942, this movie.
Okay, yeah, it's definitely early.
I saw something else, too. The Burton girl saw her sister.
1951.
Her sister was
Honeymooners.
a man.
A man.
He came to find.
I take that back. 55 to 56.
$40,000. Only Burton knows where it is. You sure? I'm sure. I read their lips just as I read yours. You going to tell the matron? Nothing I could tell.
Very artistic, the way I read your lips.
Secret? Your secret. Maybe it'll help you. I'll say it will. Did she tell the man where it was? No. Then I can tell Mrs. Stoner.
Okay, that's where I got the 51 from. Star Chunksta 1949 was the Jackie Gleason show that came before, and what the Honeymooners originally was just a sketch of.
Could you?
I smell your pussy.
So that's who my sister was. Carrie Wells, the guy who was glad to see me take the rap so he could get my share of the money. Was it a lot? Yeah. But it's where it won't do anybody any good now.
I'm sorry.
So am I.
No, I don't mean only about that.
You'd think by now they would have roughed up the mother across the hall.
Phillips?
Yeah, exactly.
Say, I hate him worse than I do Carrie.
Maybe so. But he can help you.
He already helped me once. To get in here.
Yeah, but you don't know how he feels about that now. You haven't even read his letters. I got a hunch he's sorry.
Well, it's too late for that now.
I don't think so. He's a big shot. He's got a drag.
All right, I forgot there for a moment, but I am ready for Mr. Z to pop in at any time and ask for evidence of the cat.
See him, find out what's on his mind. Say, I'd play
So
ball
good.
with anybody but Hitler to get out of this hole.
That was in the middle of his reign of terror. Well, toward the end of his reign of terror. She'd rather play ball with Hitler. That was a topical. Usually, topical references don't actually age well. That one, we still get it.
Good point. Very good point. Hey, Wade, how you doing?
Thanks for joining for this Mystery Science Theater type of show. Pivoting over to movies. I'm getting tired of internet jerks. I want to see some movie jerks.
Yeah,
actually, I guess
good
I
point.
do see plenty of
Why the
movie
big smile?
jerks.
Good news? You said it, John. Dot Burton wants to see me.
Oh, I thought you sent back all your letters.
She did. She must have had a change of heart.
Now you just can't wait to see her and give her your love and regrets.
More than that, John. I want to give her a little hope. A hope that I can get her the chance she wanted before.
The chance to go straight. 'Cause now you're
They didn't
paying
do
your
that
debts.
quite right. That pan shot.
Yeah, that was a
Let's
little
see,
weird, huh?
3504. Okay, we're not too far. It was obviously I guess they just didn't move the camera quick enough.
Wants to see me. Well, I thought you sent back all your letters. She did. She must have had a change of heart. Now you just can't wait to see her and give her your love and regrets. More than that, John, I want to give her a little hope. A hope that I can get her the chance she wanted before. The chance to go straight.
Yeah, weird.
Because now you're
Yeah,
paying your debts
it's funny how
society,
that shot didn't
earned the
quite
right to a
work
new one.
out.
Yes, I know that, Ken.
Oh, it's an elapsed
I've learned
time as
my
well.
lesson at last. So if we can just let bygones be bygones, like we talked about before, we'll...
A. Smith correcting my grammar,
tell you
reminding
something
me
else.
of
no more
Beavis and
advice,
Butthead.
please. I'm afraid I couldn't
Those two
stand it.
boys
Oh, very well,
who
then I'll give my
were
advice to someone
jerking.
who'll appreciate it. I'm going to ask the board to consider your parole.
Oh, Ken, that's wonderful. I never dreamed that you'd ever have faith enough in me again to do anything like that.
But I have, Dot. All the faith in the world.
That's big and fine and generous of you. And I love you for it, Ken.
I don't know. I think I liked her better with a bra on top of her head.
So you kissed
That must be
and made
too much
up,
of a
huh?
fashion statement
Well,
for jail.
I told him I loved him. He beamed like a Brooklyn school kid with a ticket to the World Series. Sure. Men are all the same. They believe what they want to believe. So then he said he'd check with the district attorney and have a talk with Mrs. Stoner here. He was almost sure the board would parole me at their next meeting. Well, you're practically out. With Phillips going to bat for you, how can you miss?
You know, I thought this movie was a bit short at 1 hour,
Kind of cheap promoting
but it's
Ken
starting to
like
seem
this.
a bit long
You know,
at
he
1
always
hour.
wanted to be a kid.
It slowed down after she got arrested right away.
You're not going to weaken. Not exactly.
I mean,
but
I'm not
beginning
upset
to
that
see
we're
his angle.
getting a peek into
Just
a
like you said, I
1949
made a
women's
mistake
prison,
and
but
I've got to pay for it. Well,
They put that action up front because
feel that way about it?
it
You
is
love
more the
stuff.
style of the time.
But don't let
Just
love
in
make you
general,
forget the
movies
40
are more
Gs.
boring
Breathe
to
a
the
word
modern
about that
eye
money you're
because
If anyone here
It's all
actually that's something I
dialogue,
can't
yeah.
stand. Like all the cuts, cut with action movies. That's why my roommate, he actually attempted to watch wrestling, and the way they just cut. They've got a hard camera to just keep it on there. Not to mention, it was terrible in other facets, but
I have
just
news.
trying to watch it and
Her
with
friend's
cut.
coming up for parole.
Couldn't do it.
YouTube ruined editing, I think.
She'll be up next month. Phillips is helping her.
Phillips?
Oh, that
Songs
same.
say,
The director really likes this style with her.
Tell her.
She's a lip
All
reader.
about the money. That will help me with the matron in Vicksburg, so she'll never get out, understand?
Not so fast.
Vicksburg, so she'll never get out, never.
Never get out.
Waver did put this up
But I
before this
said
lady with the crazy eyes.
She won't get a chance to spend
But
that money.
oh, her is the
When
biggest
tell.
wood of all the ladies in
No.
this ladies' prison so far.
No, I'll wait.
Oh, but then
I'll
you
wait
got
till
Granny in the back. You know that she gives a hell of a gummy.
Build her whole sky house. Then watch him tumble.
A smiling face looks beautiful, but a gummy? Now that's an amazing feeling. That had to be her headshot.
Well, it won't be long now, Burton. I hope you make it.
Thanks, Miss Jenkins. I hope so, too.
I swear this is a nice Jewish girl's prison, other than our lead character.
Excuse me, Mrs. Stoner, but could I speak to you a minute, please?
I'm busy now, Fenton. I
Mrs.
have a
Stoner
parole
isn't
board
here,
meeting.
man.
Yes, I know. That's what I wanted to talk about.
Well, you're not eligible for that for several months yet.
No, ma'am. But Dot Burton is today.
What have you to do with that?
Uh-oh.
Well, nothing directly, but, you know, I'm always anxious to help whenever I can.
Ooh,
Even
you
if the
are
girls
such a
do
good
think I
Jewish
tell
girl,
them I
aren't you?
shouldn't.
Always wanting to help.
I know you understand.
Thank you, Waver, for the
I'm doing
$2
it
super
for
sticker with the smiley
general
fox.
good.
Oh, come to the point. If you've anything worthwhile to tell me, you know I never forget.
It's about the money that was stolen from the bank that Dot Burton's mob stuck up.
What about it?
Well, the bank wants it back, don't they? They'll pay a reward, won't they?
Certainly,
Her
so
being
what?
such a nice little girl reminded me of
If you approved Aunt
the
Bert's
original
parole,
usage
and
of
she
the
did
word
so,
whore.
you'll be freeing
It was
the
just
only
like
person in the
people
world who
pleaser.
knows where that
You
money
would
is
say
hidden.
to like your teenage
How do you know?
child
One of
who's
the gang came to see
doing
her
extra
dressed as a
chores
woman.
around the house. Oh, aren't you a little whore? Before
Right,
it
like
got
brown
turned
nosing
into
kind of-
another type of,
Oh,
aren't
but
you
ma'am,
just
it's
trying to
true.
please
I know
people?
There's a way to find out. And if it is, see who it is.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Phillips is here, ma'am.
Oh, tell him I'll meet him in the boardroom in just a minute.
But he said he wanted to see you before the meeting.
Maybe it would be as well to see
She's
him
sounding
first.
a little
Show him in,
robotic.
Mary.
I
Yes.
think she went in for
Mr. Phillips,
her
please.
brain scraping already. The lobotomy.
Morning, Mrs. Stoner. I just thought I'd check with you before the proceedings start. I have Mr. Sinton's letter here approving the
Thanks, A. Smith, for
application parole,
dropping the
and
$2
I thought
super
you might
sticker
submit it with your own
of
letter.
the pair
Well, that would be the
doing a
procedure
little
if I'm
cool
going
dance.
to approve.
It
If
does
you were
look a
going
little
to approve.
suggestive.
Would you
if-
agree?
If you look at that little hair's
That was before I
dance.
learned certain new facts concerning the case, Mr. Phillips.
You mean about Miss Burton?
I do.
Well, I don't know what you could have learned. That was the first criminal act she ever committed. Now she served more than enough time to be eligible.
There's still the question of the stolen money.
She didn't take that. She never left the bank until she was arrested.
Just the same, I have reasons to believe that she, and she alone, knows where it is.
That's absurd. If she knew where the money was, she'd have told the authorities long ago to help her own case.
Not necessarily. What are a few months in jail compared to all that money?
I still don't think she knows.
Well, there's one very simple way to find out.
$40,000 for 1
Just make
year
her a
in
proposition.
1940s money? Yeah.
What kind
Yeah.
of proposition?
Yep.
If she'll tell us where the money is, we'll approve her parole.
I wouldn't do a thing like that for $1 million. Either she's entitled to an unconditional parole or she isn't.
Just the same, I intend to find out where that money is. So I shall not approve her application at the present time.
Well, that's not fair.
That's my decision.
May I see Miss Burton?
No.
What if a nice
Very well,
Jewish
then I'll
girl
see the
tells us
district
where the
attorney.
money
I'll
is?
see the governor.
You may see anyone you want, Mr. Phillips, except Burton.
Not like those heathen
You
Christians.
did just right, Mrs. Stoner.
Damn
I'm
Protestants.
sure I did,
Anything else you want of me?
Fenton. No, you may go. Oh, you may tell Miss Jenkins that Burton is not to appear before the board today.
Yes, ma'am. I will.
Look, she's all happy about it too. Oh, what a sneaky bitch.
Oh, Miss Jenkins, tell Burton to wait. Miss Jenkins, Mrs. Stoner said for you to tell Burton that she's not to appear before the parole board today.
Well, it seems to me like you told her yourself.
But why? Has the meeting been postponed?
Good. Passing notes
They just
along
scratched
via
your
prisoner.
name.
That is a
I
very
can't understand
reliable
that. Mr. Phillips
source.
said
Other
Mr.
prisoners.
Phillips said plenty. Oh, but I'm not supposed to tell what I heard.
I'll find out what happened, dearie. Probably just some red tape that's got tangled.
What did happen, Fenton?
Some
I can
green
see you're
tape,
just
actually.
itching to gossip.
Green money tape.
Well, to tell the truth.
Thank you for the $2,
Oh,
A.
but
Smith.
I'm telling the truth.
Waiver, calling out
Mr.
A. Smith,
Phillips
rather.
told
The
Mrs.
$2
Stoner
from
that
Waiver.
you know where
A.
the
Smith.
money that was
Now,
stolen from the bank is hidden.
Mrs. Stoner,
Ken
gotta
Phillips
love
said
it.
that.
Yeah. And he also said that before he'd approve your parole, you'd have to tell him where it is.
So that's his game. All he wanted was the money.
Wait a minute. If Phillips wanted to make such a deal, why didn't they send for Burton?
Because Mrs. Stoner wouldn't go for it. She said parole shouldn't be bought or sold, and that either Burton deserved one unconditionally or not at all.
That doesn't sound like Stoner.
And she also said that she didn't think Burton knew where
Stoner's
the money was
Pot
hidden
Palace.
anyhow, or she'd have offered to
Man,
make a deal long
that
ago
place
herself.
is
Why
total
didn't Mrs.
false
Stoner call me in to
advertising.
face that heel?
Yeah.
No, because when Mrs. Stoner refused,
A
Mr.
Simpsons
Phillips
sign
didn't want you
gag.
to know that he suspected
It's like another language to me. I
And
should
he'll have you
really
followed.
know Spanish front and back,
do
as
get
much
out.
as I know a Simpsons quote.
That's the dirtiest trick I ever heard of.
Play down, kid. You don't want everybody to hear this.
No.
Thanks for dropping
And
another
don't tell anyone
$3 on a
I told you
super
I'll get it wrong.
sticker,
You're
A.
always
Smith.
being wrong with me.
We've
and I
got
know
our
that keeps you get out of
pair
town
given a
days.
fist
Come
bump.
on, Dot. Let's talk this over quietly. Something smells pretty
And now
sour
that the
about the whole
pair
setup
has
to
become
me.
suggestive to me, I picture those fists doing something. Thanks, Waiver, for the thumbs up super sticker.
Whatever happened, I've got
I
a hunch
appreciate
that Fenton dame
the
was at the
support.
bottom of it.
Let me know with a
Well, I
couple
don't
of bucks.
trust her either.
Hey,
but
guy.
One thing makes me believe
We
her this
appreciate
time.
you. Go grab
Ken
a pint.
Phillips said I had to pay for everything I did, and if he thought I knew where the money was, he'd want it paid
Or maybe I
back.
could invest it back into the business.
how did he know?
I don't know. That's not very Umholt-like.
told
If
me.
I'm going by his
Well, I never
model,
told
since
the
I am
soul,
infected with the goal.
Well, you talked about
Yeah,
it
you
in
just gotta
visiting
blow
room,
your money
too,
on
didn't
what
you?
out
But we
it
were
doesn't.
whispering.
Just the
Let's
same,
go
I'm
back to
giving
the
10 to
business.
1. That's how it got out.
Maybe $1 goes.
Thanks for another dollar
That's
super
it.
sticker
I
waiver.
told Carrie and he told
A
Ken.
happy face. Ooh, the glory fist.
Carrie, screwy enough to pass up 40 G's just to
oof.
get even with you? No,
The
of course
opposite
he
of a
wouldn't.
glory hole. Just there's a
Well,
fist from the
that's
inside
odd.
coming out.
But I'd pass up a mint to get square with Mr. Phillips.
Tough to do, I'd say, you're being in here.
Maybe. But if I could play them one against the other.
I saw Mrs. Stoner, Burton, and the only thing I could learn was that she shelved your application.
Well, I think I know why she did it, Miss Jenkins. Maybe she's right.
That's the way to take it,
Principled
dearie.
uncertainty.
It'll all
Instead
work
of
out
blowing
for the
it
best
on
later,
yourself
I'm
or
sure.
investing it back into the business,
Miss Jenkins, will you tell
Islamic
Mrs. Stoner
driving
to get Mr.
lessons.
Phillips here? I'll tell
We
him
will
where
put
the money
that on
is,
the board of
if
suggestions.
they approve my parole.
Oh, so it's money you would give them. Well, if that's the way it is, I'll tell her. But it's no way for anyone to get a parole.
Have you gone crazy?
Not me.
The years before cutting
I'm
a
gonna
deal with
outsmart
the
'em.
DEA,
That
the
is, if you
DA
can do what you said
existed.
you could. What's
Right.
that? Get a letter out?
It's easy.
That settles it then. When Ken Phillips gets that money, he'll think he was bombed by a flying fortress.
Listen, I'm asking a favor you once promised. I had to tell Kenneth Phillips where I hid the stuff. And
All I
more
want you to
words.
do is to see that he gets what he deserves for double-crossing me. DB.
Can you tie that? Ma must have had to do all the time.
I'm going to shake it down for it right now.
No, we ain't gonna do that. We're gonna do it just like Dad said.
So why didn't you tell me where it was when I saw her?
Maybe she was figuring on buying out with it.
Sure, then a strict reform across there.
We'll take care of Mr. Phillips.
So they must have shot that scene of him in drag last, because he would have had to shave his mustache. You wouldn't want to do that first. You want that
Right.
Fancy Dan mustache. All right, that's what it looks like. We'll shoot you as a lady last.
I'm told you admit knowing about the stolen money, Miss Burton. Is that right?
Yes, I know where it is.
Where is it?
Wait a minute. We got something to settle first. Remember, I've been fooled before.
But that's all been explained.
I'm talking about the clever little deal you've made.
Put it in
Oh, but I
writing.
never had
Don't bother to alibi. I know all about it.
You know all about it. Who told you? If it was Lucy, I'll...
Even if it was Lucy, I wouldn't snitch on her. But that's all past history now. How about my application? Have you approved it?
The district attorney, Mr. Phillips, and my letters are in here. But you can hardly expect me to submit them yet.
Is your letter in there?
Yes, but I must admit I hated to write it under these circumstances.
Don't get him
bet
angry.
you
He's
did.
been asked if his letter is
All
in
I
there
can
too
say
many
is that you'd have
times
had the
by
money
his,
a long
by his
time
best
ago
gal.
without writing anything. You'd had half as much faith in me as you said you did.
Well, that's pretty hard to believe in view of what you're doing now.
I'm buying my freedom, that's all. I got that money as soon as I got out of jail, and I told you in sentence office I had something to give you. But you couldn't wait. You were in such a hurry to turn me in.
And you thought it was a
Yes,
blow
I think I do
job.
remember you saying something of the sort.
I wasn't
Mrs.
trying
Stoney,
to
you've got
blow my
promise
way
me
out of
one more
jail.
thing.
I haven't got to promise you anything.
Oh, but
But
this
it has
is for
been
your
a while.
benefit. I don't want anybody chiseling in on the credit that belongs to you. So I want Mr. Phillips to go for the money alone and bring you the reward.
Well, Burton, that's very considerate of you, I'm sure.
What do you say?
All right with me.
But you must promise to go by yourself. Here's the name and address of the person who has the money.
Well, he can't go by
Here's part
himself.
of a dollar bill. You'll need it to
He
prove
needs
that I sent you.
a man to go by.
Okay. It'll have to wait until after my broadcast tonight, though.
Well, that's all right. You can phone me in the morning that you have it, and then I'll mail this.
Yes, and be sure and phone as soon as you can. Naturally, I'll be anxious
Yeah,
to
she's
know how
either
you came
4'9" or
Right.
he is 7 foot tall.
Goodbye, Mr. Stoner. Goodbye.
Anything else, Mrs. Stoner?
No, that's... Except that,
Just a doobie.
well, I appreciated the way you
Yep.
handled everything.
Thank you. I thought I did a pretty good job myself. And this way I may still get my cut and get out of here, too. Not to mention getting
very
square with your friend
subtle, slight
imagine that. If I
racism.
know Wilson
That when
will
it's the
crash
Black
in on him
Girls'
like an
Night,
army
we
tank.
listen to some
Well, you're
fancy
pretty
Dan
smart all the
music.
way around. If Stoner's on the level. Of course she is.
Lame white folk, they don't want that fancy music. They don't want to dance.
Look out, she's coming in.
And she's a squirter.
Oh, good evening, Burton. I just stopped by to thank you again, and to ask you if you remember just how much reward was offered. Oh, about $5,000, I believe. My, that's more than I expected. And to think that I almost let Mr. Phillips talk me out of making the deal.
No smoking
He
sign.
tried to talk you out of it, but I thought it was his idea in the first place. The idea was solely mine. That's why I'm entitled to the reward, as you said.
Girl power.
But wasn't he the one who
$2,500
told you I
apiece.
knew where the money was? He told me nothing of the sort. I found that out myself. How? That we'll not discuss. But I'm quite certain
The
he's
lady
not
with the
entitled to
crazy
reward
eyes.
Anyway, I'm not worrying about the reward. I'm worrying how I've been tricked. What do you mean? I never tricked you. Well, whoever did it all adds up to the same. I made a terrible mistake. How? About Ken. He's innocent. He didn't cross me. And now he's walking into a trap. I don't understand. You don't have to. Only phone Ken not to go for that money. He's in danger. Of what? Why have you imagined all these things all of a sudden?
Well, I'm glad you're able to get those feelings out somewhere.
How do I
Principled
know that this
uncertainty.
isn't just some
It comes out
scheme to keep us from getting the money at all?
in
Mrs. Stoner, you've
like
got
I've
to
heard
believe. I
stories
don't.
of
At least you've got
fathers
the
and
phone.
sons,
I shall
stories
do
coming
nothing
out
of the sort.
through the doctor that they're not able to tell just on their own.
I guess I'm sunk, that's
Glad
all.
you're able to feel comfortable getting some of those emotions out. First you get the sugar, then you'll get the power. And that's actually something that I had parallel thinking of when South Park
Where you going, Snoop?
did their
None of
Scarface.
your business?
Oh,
Won't you
actually,
come
that's a
in and
Homer
visit me
quote.
for a while? No.
That's the
You
Homer
mean
Simpson
yes.
with the bees. Or not the bees. The bees stole his sugar at the end.
Whoa.
But I had a parallel thinking of the South Park with the Scarface episode and all the fast food. I had something written just like that. One of those instances of like, yay.
You're
I think
nuts
like Matt
to
and Trey.
It's the only thing I can do. There's no other way. But you've ruined everything. You'll never get paroled now. I'll never want a parole if anything happens to Ken.
Well, she's going on the lam. As I just talked over that action sequence of our lady gangster putting on a costume. Uh-oh, crazy eyes lady. What are the more bizarre Simpsons subplots where Homer finds sugar on the side of the road with glass and gravel in it that he tries to sell all around town? I was going to say, that was a train whistle. It makes sense. Can't get much louder than a train whistle, so that's our prison alarm. It looks like that they were having a red day
That don't give anybody a run around.
there in the special education classes.
Hey, Carrie. What did I tell you?
Come on, let's get going.
Hats really went away.
Who is it?
It used to be a law that men had to walk around downtown with hats on.
Well,
Johnny Dangerously
you
told
ain't
me
an
so.
actor, or you wouldn't admit that.
Actually,
What
she
do you
looks
want?
like Mom
Give
from
you this
Johnny
one half of a
Dangerously.
dollar bill.
Oh, I remember now.
She sounds like Mom from Johnny Dangerously. Is that fucking her?
Wait a minute.
Is she that ancient?
I'll see if it matches.
I'm Superstar, y'all. They didn't shake down Mom yet? Or that's what they're doing now?
She just got the dollar bill from that Phillips guy. They're ready
You go
to.
together like a sister act.
They're gonna take it.
She'll feel even better when I tell her I have
Here we
this.
go.
And you ain't gonna tell her anything, brother.
I just find it so unrealistic that they didn't beat the shit out of Mom and ransack the place up to this point.
Yeah, exactly. They knew the money was in the house. Whoa!
All right, now that was a good stunt. And there she is. She just escaped from prison into the skies.
That is a terribly built railing.
But fantastic for a set.
Police headquarters.
It's breakaway as it should be for a set.
920 Oak Street. Oh, please, hurry.
Uh-oh, now Mom's snitching. Uh-oh.
Mom, you dumb fuck. You don't call the police to help you get back your stolen bank money.
Give me that gun.
Well, Mom still doesn't know what's in that suitcase. She may think it's a fucking dog.
We gotta get out of here.
He took one to the gut. He's gonna get killed.
Thanks, Reedy, for dropping in that was Maureen Stapleton as Johnny Dangerously's mom. Not Jackie! So, this is 1940s. The Hays Code is in place. None of these motherfuckers can get away. Everyone through the front.
Come on, sister, you're coming for protection.
Wait a minute, he's hurt. Let me go.
They speed that film up just enough.
Yep, I was just gonna say that. I think they sped that up for that turn.
Yeah, it doesn't look too ridiculous. They did it earlier. They sped it up just enough so it doesn't look
Give me
sped
police
up.
headquarters. And the car they stole was number 23.
Squad car 23 stolen. Broadcast full description.
Kelsey Grammer Sr. kind of looks like to me.
I just watched an episode of Frasier, so he does look very much like Kelsey
Got off
Grammer.
the 7 on the next turn. That's better tip of the
I
water.
haven't watched the new one. I'm leery about the new
Squad
Frasier.
car hopped up plenty.
There's a
Light
new
traffic
one?
on the coast road were a cinch to lose them.
That's...
And now more Johnny Dangerously.
Hello, Harbor
This looks
Station.
like the shot with Alan Hale Jr.
Car 23 are on Central.
Johnny Dangerously is getting away in a car, get this, with duckies and bunnies on it. They do have a nice bookend of action
You
sequences.
haven't got a chance. Ken Phillips will run you down if it takes $1 million.
Think you're worth that much?
I'm not. Getting you is. Because you're a killer. You shot him and Wilson, too.
Yeah.
That driver was really into it.
What are you doing?
Freeing my hands so I can handle the rod.
Okay, but don't try to free yourself with all that jack on you.
Handle the rod now. Do that after we're done. I'm gonna say that's the CBS Bradford backlot.
One of their tires. Don't try it. Wreck the car and the girl's in there.
She's the only one we've got on Earth.
We're blocked.
Here we go.
Yay!
Exactly what Coach Lollipop from the Pixel One certainly said. No seatbelts. Right through that plate glass. Oh! 2 in the back.
I love seeing the child seats from back like in the 70s and before. Like this, it was probably just the kid on the lap, and then the ones that just look like they've just got like a metal bar.
Dorothy, honey. Call an ambulance, Ed.
Every morn I sing this song, so nothing with me can be wrong. I breakfast, lunch, and dine each day on nutty bread, so I'm okay.
Open.
Very good.
Oh, I've got to get used to calling you Coach
like you had your
Lollipop
heart
now. Formerly Principal
Tired?
Uncertainty.
Tired of lying in bed, but not tired of rehearsing. That is, if you think I
There's
really
a lot
have
of people
chance
that
for a
got their
job.
coaching
Oh, you have
diploma
more
over
than
the
a
last
chance.
month.
You have a sponsor.
Oh, but Ken, that's not possible. Well, nobody's even heard me.
Oh man, I haven't gotten in on that trend yet. I've got to get my my coaching
Ken,
license.
That's swell. Where is the job?
My studio. What do you think?
Well, will I be on as a regular commercial announcer?
Never thrown a
Well,
punch
they're
in my
going to be
life,
with me regularly
and I could
anyway.
still get my
And I hope one of the
boxing
announcements won't
coaching
be
license
commercial at
before
all,
Aaron
but
M.
more in the
Holt.
nature of a society item.
Such as?
That's a good
Well,
point to
you'll have
make.
to write that
Yeah, he
yourself,
screwed
but-
himself really bad out of this
Yes.
one. So what? Is she's the only one that survived too, right? All three of the gangster guys got shot.
Oh, but Ken, that's not
Yeah,
possible.
we kind of talked over. What are you?
Yeah,
like she should be in jail. She should be back in jail.
Well, nobody's even heard me.
I have. And I've assured the parole board that you have a job the moment they approve your application.
Oh, Ken, that's swell.
Okay, so
Where is-
she's getting away with it. She may have taken the money. Yeah, I guess all the guys are dead.
My studio. What do you think?
Well, will I be on as a regular commercial announcer?
Well, you're going to be with me regularly.
Oh, and her dream job as an actor.
Anyway, and I hope one of the announcements won't be commercial at all, but more in the nature of a society
So
item.
I would say the moral of this
Well,
movie
you'll
is
have
do
to write
whatever
that
you want because it'll all work out in the end.
As long as you are an attractive Catholic lady, you can have a happy ending.
But
all those nice Jewish girls are still in reform prison.
Yes.
And it ends with that yuck yuck music.
Faye Emerson. That was our lead lady. Mrs. Stoner. Virginia Brisiak.
Peggy Diggins. That is now the name of a dominatrix. Peggy Diggins in the ass. Frank Mayo. He did change his name. Originally, it was Frank Mustard.
I knew you were going to say mustard. I knew it was a mustard joke that was coming.
And I also promoted that we would have a Superman PSA for stamps. So let me get that one brought up from archive.org, the public domain site for all types of nonsense. Stamp day for Superman. Copy. Paste.
A joy we will never know.
Back in the days of box tops and war bonds, 1954, George Reeves himself, before he proved that he couldn't outrun every single speeding bullet. He was sleeping at the time, so
United States Treasury Department presents
wasn't fair.
The Adventures of Superman.
The U.S. government presents Superman.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound.
Back before we were so sexually depraved, having someone do something unexpected, a lick of the balls, a lick of the ass, to just have your mind explode all over the room.
Who can change the course of mighty rivers, bend steel in his bare hands, and who, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper, fights a never-ending battle for truth, justice, and the American way.
No, look at those stars. Back when we had 48 states, and they lined up just fucking perfectly right there.
6 by 6, yep. Stamp day.
Clark, aren't they the cutest puppies you ever saw?
They sure are, but did you ever see a puppy that wasn't cute?
I wish the shop was open so I could hold one.
You're doing the next best thing. You've had me standing in front of that window for the last, 20 minutes? Yes.
Clark, look.
Oh, no, Lois. Do you realize this is the 18th window you stopped at? And furthermore,
Archive.org. It is all public access.
It'll take me until the middle of next week to walk you home.
If you're in a hurry, I'm sure I can manage alone.
I'll tell you what. You look in half the windows, and I'll look in the other half. That way it'll just take us half as long.
But you don't understand.
That doesn't sound acceptable to a woman. I only get to look at half of the merchandise? Only half of the sales? Clark,
There's one drugstore in the corner. I'll call the police.
just put bamboo up my nails. Phone booth.
Yep.
That's what it was in the NES game. That's what I remember the cliche being was phone booth.
A phone booth.
Oh, just around the corner.
It's like, I'll just stretch these bars out real quick.
My partner went out the door as soon as the alarm went off. You don't have to worry about me, though. I'm not going to run away. You mean you deliberately stayed when you could have gotten away? Well, I've never done anything like this before, Superman. It was all like a dream until that alarm went off and woke me up. Well, I realized that I can run from the police, but I can't run from myself. It's easy to see that you're new at this sort of
Quite
thing.
a quick change of conscience.
Why?
Yeah, this doesn't usually happen at the crime scene.
Sure, it was the money, but
All he needed to do was get caught. And he's got a partner. That guy's fucked. He's rolling over, just being looked at by an authority figure.
well, I'm sorry it did, but at least you've learned something very important. Oh, pretty bad way to learn it, don't you think? Well, here they come, Superman. Gee, I feel a little better for having someone to talk to. Thanks. It's all right, son. Now, you can do me a favor. Don't tell him I was here. Sure.
It's all right, son. He's like 10 years younger than that guy.
It's the ground floor. They could have very easily made it seem cooler by not being... Could Superman still only leap at this point? No, George Reeves could fly, right?
Suppose.
It was the Fleischer cartoons, I think, where he could
They
leap
started that.
the building, and eventually the leaping turned into full-on flying. Gonna have to call Star Chunks to Lanny Poffo.
Well, I hope you don't bump into him again.
Pretty nifty, isn't it, Mr. Kent? I can almost carry it in my pocket. Now, if I have any special outside assignments,
That's got to be Jimmy Olsen.
That's right, Jimmy. Looks like a good
Points.
investment to me.
Look at that. A traveling typewriter. Portable.
Well, congratulations, Lois.
Previously, they had to be bolted down and weighed 3 tons.
I don't want to be known as the boy with the cute typewriter.
I'm afraid it's hopeless, Jimmy. I once knew a woman who referred to the Grand Canyon as cute.
Well, whatever you call it. I didn't know the chief was handing out raises.
Oh, I didn't get a raise.
Some women are size
Handing
queens.
out rich uncles.
Even if you are packing, some ladies will think it's cute.
When I was in school, I used to buy Treasury savings stamps every week. By the time I graduated, they turned into bonds.
So you cashed in the bonds on this typewriter?
Only part of them. You see, the interest I got on my investment made the bonds worth a lot more than what I put into them.
There you go. That's what the kids need to hear, Jimmy Olsen.
That ties in exactly with something I heard last night.
And when did you hear anything about saving last night, Mr. Kent? I was with you all the time, remember?
Oh, yes, Lois. Well, this must have been some other evening when you weren't with me. Jimmy,
Oh, I got that word all wrong, Star Chunksta. I didn't know what a stamp collector had that
Why
title.
not do a feature article on how the kids help
He's
themselves
being
and
cheeky.
Uncle Sam
He knew
by
what he
buying
said.
bonds and stamps?
Cheapers, I'll go along with that.
Good. How about you, Lois?
I'd love to, but I have a date with Inspector Henderson. Have to look through the mug books for that speedy gentleman I met in the alley last night.
Well, then
The
come on over
speedy
later.
gentleman in the alley last night.
Fine, meet you
Sounds
there
like
in
she
an hour.
had her a dangerous quickie.
Yes, Miss Lane?
I was wondering, could I borrow your typewriter? Thanks.
Morning, boys.
Good morning, Mr. Galway.
I'd like you to meet Mr. Kent and Jimmy Olsen from the Planet.
I don't know if the rest of George Reeves Superman is public domain. This one is because it's funded by the Treasury Department.
Superman would come over. I bet we'd really have a stamp day.
Well, I can't promise you anything, but it might be arranged.
The booth looks very nice, boys.
Thank you very much.
Hey, what's that singular water fountain doing there? What kind of city is Metropolis?
Hello?
Miss Lane, this is Blinky.
Whites only.
Remember me?
Blinky? Oh, of course. Why, we used to go to
Are you done chasing Pac-Man, Blinky?
Ah, you're thinking of the wrong Blinky. The only Sunday school picnic I ever went to was in reform school. Then they took us all out to chase butterflies. The one I chased just happened to fly into a moving boxcar. So what could I do? You know, Miss Lane, I chased that butterfly all the way up to San Francisco.
See, I knew you chased Pac-Man around. That's just all you know, Blinky, is to chase things around. Even when it's right into a truck.
Then you're the...
The guy they're looking for. They're bound to get me, Miss Lane, so I'm going to surrender.
Well, that's fine, Blinky.
Such
You're doing the
polite
right
criminals in Metropolis in 1950.
I'm only surrendering to you.
Yeah, crime was a racket back then, I guess.
They'll liable to give me a break if I walk in with you. Look, meet me on the corner of Chestnut and Warlow in exactly a half hour.
Oh, he's totally kidnapping her, right?
But I'm not sure I'll recognize you.
You recognize me, all right. In a half hour.
That's not a good physical description in a half an hour. That is a time description, sir.
Inspector Henderson, Lois Lane. I'll be a little late for our appointment. I have a surprise to pick up for you first.
She's getting the strap on.
Yes, Mr. Kent, we're pretty proud of our students. Stamp Day is really their idea, you know.
Did you see, there was a clip of old women talking about sexual terms and asked, hey Siri, what is pegging? And then they were all like, oh yes, I've done that. Not all of them. My Siri picked up on that.
I think I remember what you were talking about. I think I know what you're talking about, though. I think I did see it. It was like 3 or 4 old women sitting around doing that. Like,
it might have been from Carl Hamburger, possibly. I can't quite place it.
She should have been here by now. May I use your phone? Certainly. Thanks.
My phone currently has a definition of pegging. Thank you, Siri.
Mr. White's office, please.
I already made a racial joke, Mr. White. I don't need to tell you where Mr. Black's office is in the 1950s.
Kent, I spend half my life attempting to keep track of you, Lois or young Olson. I spend the other half regretting that I spent the first half trying to keep track of you.
I'm afraid you lost me on that last curve. When did she leave?
About an hour ago, she stuck her head in the door and said, Chief, I have a date with a heightman to wrap him up and put him on
I'm
ice.
just a girl.
As usual, it didn't make much sense.
I'm afraid it makes too
Oh, that was the Malibu Stacy, another random Simpsons quote.
oh yeah, that's right, Malibu Stacy.
No buts about it, Olson. You stick around.
The things I can walk into with my eyes wide open.
It ain't your fault, Miss Lane. I ain't got nothing against
They didn't
you.
have the budget to show the actual kidnapping. It gets the point across. Someone being
She's
tied
tied
up
to
in
a
a
chair.
chair.
Yes, was in on the job. Testimony don't mean a thing.
And what's going to happen to me?
Gotta get rid of you, Miss Lane. But not until I get a call from the guy that's selling the jewelry for me.
And in the meantime, if anybody catches up with you, you use me as a shield, right?
That's what I like, a girl with brains.
If that's what you like, find another girl. I obviously don't have any brains or I wouldn't be here.
Hey.
Yeah, let's see
I
if you're
got an
right.
idea.
Pew!
Look,
See,
I'm
you
gonna
had
be out of
some.
the country a long time, right? Well, I got to keep in touch with my pals by writing letters, right? And being as how nobody can read my handwriting.
PGBDSM can do that to some people, Coach Lollipop.
Sure, why not? But who's going to teach those
A
friends of yours how
1950s
to
woman
read?
tied in a chair, PG BDSM. Just like we saw some of the TikTok around the clock ladies had this soft BDSM going on, where they would spank each other with pool noodles.
That's
Gee, that's beautiful, Miss Lane. Every time I think of this line, I'll think of you. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog.
That's all I know, Ken.
I think we all remember that. That was a sentence with all letters in it.
Last night.
That's
Lured
right.
into some kind of a trap. Well, unfortunately, that doesn't help us locate the trap. And there's only one lead I can think of. I'm going down to jail and talk to Jess Dunlop.
Oh, Kent.
Yes, sir.
I didn't really mean all those things I said.
I know you didn't, Chief.
Say, I'm doing pretty good on this one, Miss Lane. Out of 100 letters, I only made...
I wonder how savings bonds are going to save the day here.
You'll make some woman a wonderful
Yeah, I'm very
secretary.
confused.
Hey, what's that you're doing?
The Treasury Department financed a full-on episode.
No, ain't that something?
No, if you
Dot
look too
matrix
close, it
art.
doesn't look like a picture anymore. You have to hold it far away, and then the letters sort of blur together. Why don't you try one?
Sure.
Pioneer of dot matrix art right here, Lois Lane.
Don't go no further. I like you real close.
I was just going to test flight my airplane.
You can test flight it from right over there.
Anything you say, Blinky.
Oh, stupid Blinky.
Now look what I did.
So you can
Out
make
the
another one.
window. Oops.
Oh, thanks, Blinky. Don't feel much
He
like
just
playing
let her
games.
throw her help note out the window. No wonder Pac-Man gets Blinky every time.
Tell me the plane's just gonna glide right into his window now.
Ken. Nothing to get excited about, Chief. I talked to Jess, all right. And he identified the other fellow, but he doesn't know where he lives.
Well, now, don't worry about me. I haven't suddenly gone childish. But take a look at this.
Daily Planet Urgent.
Someone found it on the street and brought it in. Take a look inside.
Well, if that somebody thinks this is any time for practical jokes. Wait a minute, Chief. Just a second. Look here among the X's.
Prisoner, top floor, 18 Cedar Street. Kent, that's it.
Well, if it is, I hope we're in time.
Get me the police.
Blinky
I better go
missed
there,
that.
Chief. I might be able to be of some help.
Blinky is not a very observant fellow.
Storeroom.
Hi, KB. Hi, KB's lawyers. Actually, I guess this would be George Reeves' lawyers. Yay!
Well, Superman flies.
Yeah?
Yeah, I thought so.
Good.
I was thinking that once they went to
That's
live
what I've
action,
been
that
waiting
he
for,
went from
Miss
leaping
Lane.
to flying.
Everything's been taken care of, except you.
Blinky, don't. You just get a few years for the jewel robbery. But for this,
That's the chance I gotta take.
Look how old I am. A few years is the rest of my life. Yay!
No, I don't believe it.
you will, Blinky. You will.
I don't believe it.
I would like to see that again.
That's the call I've been waiting for, Miss Lane.
We're sticking to the watch along for the most part, but I definitely want to
Everything's
see
been
that
taken care of, except you.
again.
Blinky, don't. You just get a few years for the jewel robbery. But for this,
That's the chance I gotta take. No, I don't believe it.
you will, Blinky. You will.
I don't believe it. It's Superman.
You're just wasting your ammunition, Blinky. Sit down.
Hey, let me out. Let me out.
Another few seconds and it would have been too late,
Well,
Superman.
it wasn't, Miss Lay, and that's what counts. What time is it?
Just about 12:30.
Well, I can't wait
It's
for the
time to
police.
get our
An appointment
stamps.
date. Excuse me.
You won't have to worry about
Unreal.
riding the tails now, Blinky.
Hiya, boys and gals. There can only be one Superman, of course.
And you get to dunk him
You
today
ever
for
think
just
about
$1
some of the
a
super
ball.
things that you can do for yourself? Well, like saving up the money for your own vacation, or for that new bike that you want.
No way, he's scamming stamps, not
All you
dunk
have to
tank.
do is just put away part of your allowance.
So just like our last one did a bookend of action sequences, we had like a regular episode of Superman bookended by talking about stamps and savings bonds.
Yeah, it's so weird, right?
Your odd job money, and put it in United States savings stamps at school. Those dimes, quarters, and dollars add up mighty fast. Especially
They couldn't figure out how to weave savings bonds into the plot. So here's
They don't figure it out at all. No, they don't figure this out even in the 80s with like G.I. Joe and He-Man when they would do the same thing. They would just put that PSA
At the very
at the
end.
Yeah.
When it became a mandate that they had to have something educational, not a thing woven into G.I. Joe. The more you know segments.
By saving regularly with United States savings
Yeah,
stamps.
they're doing the same here, I think. It's just like, we'll just
Keep on
bookend
making
it.
me and everyone else as proud of you as we are today. Bye now.
Oh, I'm gonna have to check that out, Coach Lollipop.
Good to see you again.
Orwell's Diaries spotted film infecting humans before anyone else, which,
It looks like Blinky's gonna get jailed, Jess is gonna get
yep, now it's undeniable.
and I'm gonna get my typewriter back.
Golly, Jim, it's a lucky thing for me.
Star
you
Trek
saved
has
the money
certainly
for that
warped my
typewriter.
brain.
Otherwise, I'd never gotten that note out.
It turned into a happy
And that wasn't even
Oh,
until
yeah.
the late 20s that I turned into one of those fucking nerds.
cheaper stamp albums. Thank you, Mr. Kent.
You have an extra one. Who's that for?
And one for Superman.
Oh, just for a friend of mine?
So really, you just bought yourself two.
Wonder Man!
Wonder Man. I don't think I have that anymore right on hand.
That's great.
Wonder Man. Nope, I don't have that on hand anymore. As I now have my James Rolfe meow right here
Yeah.
on hand.
There was a comment in the subreddit that it was just the meow, just meow. So
Yeah,
I think they all
haven't
caught
gone
on
over
to that too.
I haven't gone over all of those. I did see someone just put a meow.
But what a weirdo.
It's so odd what he puts in his book. And we'll be back to James Rolfe in another 2 weeks. I guess it's our Aaron Imholt week next week. I'm starting to get less views, so maybe my channel is tailing off on the Aaron Imholt stuff. But yeah, I guess our Wednesdays are goofing on people. Our Thursdays will be movie type stuff. Oh yeah, I've got 2K booked, I believe, next week as well. So
Nice.
I might put together some social media clips for him. The other movie show I've talked about, he might be up for that. I'll have to figure out what he's up for. But yeah, 2K coming soon. And for the rest of February, I'll keep up this Wednesday and Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern. Might change it because I'm just not as active. Like, I tried to do the schedule so I could be more active, and I might need to fiddle with it just so I can be a productive human IRL. So
Right.
Be with you at these times for the rest of February. Might make a little change after that. And plugs for Spurg Snake once again. The Monday night gamings with Family Feud. It's unfortunate that we're starting to recognize some of them because it's a fun game, but there is a finite amount of memory. So like
there's
most of them, like, we recognize, it's familiar, but don't remember like enough to cheat to just run through it.
Yeah. What the one that I remembered specifically was cleaning my ears out with stuff on the desk, because I remember Stapler being up there. It's like, how the hell do you get a
that was a
stapler
big
in your
one.
ear?
Like that was, I remember specifically it being Daylaw that suggested it, and
Yeah.
like no, that's too silly. And then it comes up, it's like it's such an out there answer that I remember which beloved chatter it was that that said it. Coach Lollipop is making me wish I had that "get confident" stupid here on my board. I do need to update this. Doesn't the Roadcaster, Chad's Roadcaster went down? I think that also has sound effects. Maybe that's what I can look into investing your super chats into rather than a pint at the bar. Thanks once again to A. Smith, Waver, and they went back and forth with a few super chats. Thank you guys so much for them super chats. Anything else we got to plug? Your music will be popping up every now and then over on Spurg Snake's Secret Stash.
Yep, and I'm going to try to play Fortnite one night a week, and Coach Lollipop says I need to be more confident. I'm really under the weather. I'm trying to hold it together right now.
Yeah, that doesn't help. I canceled one of my 2 episodes last week because I was feeling a bit too much under the weather. Under the weather? He said you forgot to say that his compliment that you are indeed a likable fellow. Just that's my lifelong struggle. Get confident, stupid. And yeah, that's more me. The get confident, stupid. Feeling a bit sick, and now I'm just rambling on and on. Anything else to plug? You were recently on Annie's show, Annie O'Ryan. What's This Game? Check out Spurg Snake. I believe I'll be dropping in for a Civ 7 review over on What's This Game. Can't do it regularly, but every now and then I can drop by and do another game with Annie. And yeah, I guess it's sign-off time. I did all the plugs.
You have to check out.
Spurg's feeling a little under the weather. That's especially stinks with the doggos. Like taking the doggos out when you're sick. That's when I'm always like, I want cats only. I want something that'll just shit in the box. But that was today, and thank you all for joining. Now feel free to go away.
Well, it looks like that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for going on this adventure with me. It's fun being with friends. I'll see you next time. Bye now.
Bye for now.
Toodaloo. Au revoir. Auf Wiedersehen. Ciao. Ding dao day.
Places all. All join hands, circle left. Now circle right and listen to me. LS, MFT. Elementary corners like swinging on a gate. To right to your honey with the right to left date. Grand right and left around you go. Lucky strike means fine tobacco. Meet your honey and give her a whirl. All swing around with the little girls. Smoke 'em, then you'll see. LS, MFT. Promenade and don't you fall. Promenade around the hall. Lucky strike is first again with tobacco men. Promenade straight down the pike. It's time right now for a lucky strike. Yes, for smoking that you're bound to like, you just can't beat a lucky strike.